The Dodge Daytona Turbo Z was a game-changer for Dodge and the automotive world in the 1980s. It marked a significant shift in how sports cars were viewed and built, representing a new era of turbocharged performance, front-wheel drive technology, and futuristic design. At a time when traditional muscle cars were losing favor due to tighter fuel economy regulations, safety standards, and emissions controls, the Turbo Z arrived on the scene as a bold response to these challenges. Dodge took an innovative approach with the Daytona Turbo Z, blending performance with efficiency in a way that was rare for the time. While classic sports cars relied on raw power and rear-wheel drive, Chrysler embraced front-wheel drive across much of its lineup during the 1980s. The Daytona Turbo Z was no exception. Built on Chrysler's K-Car platform, famous for its versatility and practicality, the Turbo Z shared many components with Chrysler's other offerings, but it was engineered to deliver a true performance experience. The Daytona Turbo Z's standout feature was its turbocharged engine. Chrysler knew that forced induction could elevate a small displacement engine to the next level, and they were one of the earliest adopters of turbo technology in mass-market cars. Under the hood of the Turbo Z was a 2.2-liter single overhead cam (SLHC) inline-four engine that produced between 142 and 146 horsepower depending on the model year and 160 to 170 lb-ft of torque. At a time when emissions regulations were strangling the power output of many naturally aspirated engines, this turbocharged setup delivered a level of performance that stood out. In fact, this engine allowed the Daytona Turbo Z to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds and reach a top speed of 128 miles per hour. Impressive figures for a front-wheel drive sports car of that era. But the Daytona Turbo Z wasn't just about straight-line speed. Dodge engineers focused heavily on making sure the car handled as well as it accelerated. To achieve this, the Turbo Z was equipped with McPherson strut front suspension and nitrogen-charged shock absorbers that provided an optimal blend of comfort and agility. The use of rack and pinion steering ensured precise handling, while the Goodyear Eagle GT tires, sized at 195/60 R15 or 205/60 R15 for later models, provided ample grip on the road. One of the car's most eye-catching features was its exterior design. Inspired by the sleek lines of the third-generation Chevrolet Camaro and the Porsche 928, the Daytona Turbo Z featured an aerodynamic profile with extended ground effects and a distinctive three-piece rear spoiler that improved its drag coefficient to an impressive 0.34, Chrysler's best at the time. This not only gave the car a striking appearance, but also enhanced its high-speed stability. The Daytona Turbo Z was designed to look fast even when it was standing still. Its pop-up headlights, wide stance, and aggressive front and rear fascias helped it stand out in a crowded market of coupes. Inside the cabin, Dodge made sure that the Turbo Z was not only fast but also comfortable for both daily driving and more spirited outings. The car came with deeply bolstered front seats that included inflatable lumbar and thigh supports, allowing drivers to customize their seating position for maximum comfort during long drives or high-speed maneuvers. The dashboard featured a complete set of instruments, including a boost gauge, a constant reminder that this was a car built for performance. The Turbo Z's interior may not have been dripping in luxury, but it was functional and sporty, aligning with its mission as a performance-focused car. The Turbo Z came standard with a close-ratio 5-speed manual transmission, which allowed drivers to fully exploit the power of the turbocharged engine. For those who preferred an automatic, there was also an optional 3-speed automatic transmission, but the manual was the enthusiast's choice, offering better control and a more engaging driving experience. The powertrain worked in harmony with the front-wheel drive layout to deliver brisk acceleration, though it was not without its quirks. Like many high-powered front-wheel drive cars of the era, the Turbo Z suffered from some torque steer, a phenomenon where the steering wheel pulls to one side under hard acceleration. While this was noted by some reviewers as a downside, most agreed that the car's agility and overall handling more than made up for it. In 1986, the Turbo Z received a performance upgrade with the addition of the $183 CS option, short for Carroll Shelby. This package included stiffer bushings, upgraded dampers, thicker front and solid rear anti-roll bars, and wider 225/50 VR15 Goodyear Gatorback tires mounted on unique alloy wheels. These changes further improved the Turbo Z's handling, allowing it to corner with even more confidence and grip. Shelby's influence on the car was subtle but meaningful, adding another layer of performance pedigree to an already capable vehicle. While the Dodge Daytona Turbo Z was a strong performer, it was also priced competitively for its time. The Turbo Z had an MSRP of $11,494, about $31,390 in today's dollars, placing it in a similar price bracket to other performance-oriented cars like the Mustang GT Turbo, Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, Toyota Celica GTS, and Mazda RX-7 GS. Despite the competition, the Daytona Turbo Z carved out a niche for itself by offering a compelling mix of turbocharged power, front-wheel drive agility, and distinctive styling. The Turbo Z's legacy extended beyond its initial run. The Daytona lineup would remain a fixture in Dodge's portfolio until 1993, receiving multiple facelifts and performance updates along the way. During that time, turbocharged, front-wheel drive sports cars from both domestic and international automakers came and went, but the Daytona Turbo Z continued to hold its own, proving that Chrysler's vision for a modern, efficient sports car was ahead of its time. In the broader context of automotive history, the Dodge Daytona Turbo Z represents a key moment when automakers began to rethink what a sports car could be. It wasn't just about raw horsepower and rear-wheel drive anymore. Efficiency, aerodynamics, and turbocharging had become part of the equation. The Turbo Z showed that a car could be fast, fun to drive, and still meet the demands of a changing world. It's a testament to Dodge's engineering prowess and boldness during a period of transformation in the automotive industry. Fast, futuristic, and undeniably cool, the Dodge Daytona Turbo Z was more than just a car. It was a statement of intent, proving that the future of performance could be just as thrilling as the past.